Chill, Twan. Damn, man, that nigga Big got something to say. Yo, Big, what you got to say, Big?
Yeah.
The Majestic Convo. Ordinary people having extraordinary conversations. It's the Majestic Convo, episode 6. What we're supposed to be talking about today is like, let's start with the first topic. Like, there was, it's a sad note, but we have to discuss it. It's a reality that happens on our roads every day. But with this one, I think it hit home with, I think, most South Africans. There was an accident in
R25,
where 20
around 20 people, 20 people, I think.
Number driver by 2 or driver 1 passed on. Now that's like, it's very sad, but it's a reality that's happening on our roads. And that, it created a discussion between us in our own personal time, whereby, so the accident was caused by a what? Taxi.
We're not sure. No one's come through with evidence as to who's caused the accident.
But there's a taxi involved.
There's a taxi involved, and it was transporting school children.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend pointed out that it's a notorious road that's got error exits. Apparently, it's a one-way sort of come and go, and I don't know if it opens or closes, but it's a busy road. There's trucks on the road.
Which one is it?
It's the R25 Go Spray. So it's a busy road. There's goods vehicles. I think out Brit side, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a busy road, and it's got lots of goods vehicles and so forth. So where there's traffic like that, accidents like that are bound to happen. So if you go on the internet and you just Google R25 Go Spray, you'll see a lot of accidents.
Before you get into that, that's why I'm not saying, Harry, that most accidents are caused by taxis and the problem is taxi in. But how? We all use taxis. I've used taxis.
Yeah.
All of us. We are there.
Yeah.
And back in the day, we like, it was nice. It was nice. But now I'm seeing like, it's a bit of like a repetition. All the time, imagine you hear taxi accident. So what is actually going wrong within the taxi industry that needs to be fixed?
So
you can't regulate the taxi industry because it wasn't regulated even during apartheid.
Well, you can actually.
How? Yes, they introduced the BRT and whatever for an alternative means of transport, but the taxi industry is still the dominant force when it comes to public transport.
Yes. So
how do we make it?
So when it comes to this regard, firstly, we have to understand how it's structured. When you look at my taxi wars, whenever outside forces, whether it be government, whether it be... So the taxi industry in general, and this is just my humblest of opinions, they own so much of the economy that government cannot fuck with them. Because how many people... how many people use taxis in general just to get to work, just to make the economy work. So now I'm thinking I'm Minister of Transport. I don't know who the new guy is, but the Peters went on a full-out campaign. Funny enough, one of my journalist friends was like, so in this regard, who do I interview about the Easter campaign, considering the Peters after the shuffle got fired yesterday? How do you regulate an industry that has been historically black and independent from government? Because the apartheid government there didn't give a fuck who came in, as long as you ensure that people get in, because this is a dark business. We cannot tax
that's why they need to
give it to them and they can handle this. But how do you regulate such a thing? And again, you have to look at a modern middle class black person. You have to get to work at 8. How are you going to get your kids to work, to school? How are you going to do that? So in this case, it is sad, but again, because the taxi industry owns so much of the economy, especially when it comes to transport. And again, you have to look at these things because we have inherited this system from the apartheid government. Is like, how can some entity so unregulated own so much? And so to a certain extent, they are so powerful, they cannot be fucked with.
I hear you.
But just to jump into that and go back, they own a huge section of the economy. As I said,
Yep.
they take our kids, our fathers, our uncles, everybody. You know, if you're in town sometime and you're driving home after work or whatever, sometimes when I leave client and on the odd day that I do go to client, you just drive past the commissioner. Like, and then it's hectic, and then you realize the strength, not the strength, but the stronghold they have on the economy. It's massive, and I'm sure there's been times back in time when they threatened to strike. This cut CPRT before they built it, and they were like, "We're gonna strike tomorrow," and they met same night and they hashed out the issue that tomorrow back to it because they knew there's no ways the Department of Transport can say, "Okay, now you guys will." You know, unlike whoever, mine work, they can't say no. We'll see you guys tomorrow. There's no way.
There's no way.
Can't happen because businesses will lose money. Even if you want, it could be a form of collusion.
But-
the rent will fall.
But it's
The
a.
rent will fall. It will fall.
No, for I'll pick it up. But anyway,
She did.
Mama, actually,
It's a-
Yeah, did you see
Hey,
did you
Mom,
see the man
yeah,
went
yeah.
up this week?
Mom,
Yeah,
just
it's come on, man. Thank you.
quickly.
and
It's just hold on. It's a reality, guys. It's a reality you're facing. I've just googled the deaths in 2016, from 2013 to 2016. You were right. Broncos Spirit, ne?
yeah, they are 25. Yeah.
In 20, I'm gonna start. But the leading deaths, taxi fatalities in the country, Western area, R28, 19 in 2015. Broncos Spirit 17 in 2013. I'm just gonna go up quickly to show you guys, like, in terms of the whole year. Okay, wait. In terms of anything that involves minibus taxis, pedestrian, driver,
Yeah.
like whether
Yeah.
or Wednesday. 2013, 291 in the country. 2014, we got 239, which is very high. Anyway,
It is.
2015 was 243. January 2016 was 84, which is slightly lower than the 200.
What was the year? 2024?
2016 was 84, which is not bad.
Okay.
So clearly something they're doing is right. Something is happening.
But
But still, like,
80, I mean,
that's
when
a lot
you
of
look- I
numbers.
mean, imagine if it was like 80 something people and all those 80 something people were breadwinners. How many households are we talking
Exactly.
about there? I mean, it's ridiculous.
And unfortunately, that's the way this cookie comes.
So okay.
Before you, I just want to go again and just to talk about the stranglehold that they have, right? And regulating this thing. Right? How do you regulate 10 Rand 50? How do you regulate 12 Rand 50? It's a cash-driven.
how do you
Hold
tax
on.
it?
I actually know how to.
Yes, but what I'm saying is at the beginning, like it's a cash-driven business because of you can't go and swipe E1. You can't swipe
Captain.
125 before.
Angizosapela mina nalabo.
Nana wethu then driver kuzoshota bana ngabhatalanga now manje abantu bazokhipha amadebi
Yeah, khona basayipile driver.
uphumi lipi then you imagine you go to work you must put expense claim.
That would actually make my life a lot easier.
So
I wish someone takes a let in they sleep. Guys.
so
Come on.
so they
Can we
I
do
must
that?
keep expense claim, and these are the challenges that we find in this thing. So it's hard to tax this thing.
So there is a problem within the taxi.
No, there's big things. There's two major taxi associations. It's top 6 and then I forgot the name of the other. They are the guys who basically decide what's what. There are small other associations, but those two are the runners here. They decide. In a way, you could say it's like back in the day, mafia.
Just like the-
There's a family. There are two families that are running this business, right?
And like, would that be off when saying one is like from like KZN and the other one is like?
I don't have those details, so I won't speculate. But
What's
now,
ours?
but now the thing is, guys. So now, with all of this happening, it's let's say for example, you have a cab. You bought a E20 back in the day in the 80s, because this is also very family driven.
Yeah.
You can't just walk in and own a taxi. You know the consequences. I'm not gonna speak about it.
Yeah.
The consequences are dire.
Bam 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 bam.
Yeah, it's dire. It's a family-driven business. It's about who you know, how you can get in. Even if you buy a taxi and give it to somebody, at the end of the day, you're touching somebody's pocket. And I always had this comment from a former colleague of mine, Bob Matuna. At the one, once you tinty pocket lamb, now it's your job. You understand? So once you start messing with my money, hence this is the origination of most of these wars. Some guys are taking chances going on other routes. And that's where the stuff starts. Because now you're eating into this association with this guy's bread. And that's where the issue starts. So now, with all of this happening, it's us. It's a black thing. It's what it is. We need taxi, we need E20, sorry, back to then. And your E20 now pays for another CI, right? And your E20, and you've only got one E20. So if your E20 breaks down, you're under pressure to fix it and to get it going because you need to sustain it and get more. There's no insurance system. There's no roadside assist that comes and then they fix this one. Then you take your cab and you go. Right?
I'm more of a bottom line about that. So in this regard, yes, we have all these. When you have all these factors regulated, the bottom line is that at the end of the day, everybody looks at South Africa as the beacon. Whatever we do, the rest follow. But in this regard, when you look at your taxi association, this is like the elephant in the room when it comes to a functioning economy. Because how can you have somebody so powerful who is not regulated? How can you do this? Especially somebody who controls so much of your economy and you cannot regulate because you are afraid of what? Gang wars. I thought we had structures like police, we have, and I do understand.
That's why I move.
Yeah, and I do understand that this is a complicated thing. I mean, the reason why we pay these politicians or they pay themselves this much is so that they can solve these hard issues. Why aren't we calling them into account? I need to tell you want to. By all means, go ahead. People are dying. Regulate the damn system and let's make this work. Because I cannot just wake up one day and go like, what if the taxi driver tells me to go fuck myself? And which they do.
Not in those words.
Yeah, of course. They go like, hey, or whatever. But we need to regulate the system considering how much of the economy it controls. If one taxi driver were to say, all of the taxi drivers in Gauteng were to say like, I don't feel like driving today. How many people can actually afford to go on their phones and hit and people?
Oh, not many. But that's why, anyway, Harry, you wanted to say something?
I love your speech. No. It's moving. It's touching. But at the end of the day, guys, no minister's gonna have the balls to walk in there and say, "Yay, stop this, do that, and do this." Gonna say, right, done, down tools. What's going to happen? Yeah? People, businesses, corporates say, guys, hey, you said stop this now.
Because even when the e-toll came, they strike and the government is like, okay, they don't have to pay e-toll.
So whenever you're going against a certain campaign, what do you have?
Zulu Mafia, Zulu Taxi Mafia controls
yeah, but that's not true.
They got the government by the balls.
Yeah, but that's not acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And I agree with your speech. I agree with everything you said. But the practicalities of implementing this thing is very difficult because of the time that is passed and the stronghold they have. That's why I was getting back to that point, saying that Hakuna roadside assist when your CIA breaks down. You have to go back, una mechanic rank, whatever, ulungisama brig, whatever you can, and get back on the road because you've got to make that paper. It's a similar thing to having a business that cuts corners and gets, I don't know, second-rate people to service their printers and second-rate IT. It's the same thing. It's just that this has more dire consequences. In there, you read about it in Business Day. Oh, people have lost money. Oh, people have been fired, retrenched. It's sad. Here, people die. Unfortunately, due to bad maintenance. Those are the two differences here. And what I'm saying is that one taxi buys another. That's the story that you know and you've seen. It's a huge business. And as I said, it's family driven. It's who you know. You can't. Not an average black person can just walk in. It's legacy.
Yeah, and have a taxi.
Yeah, it's legacy driven, this thing. So it's difficult. How do you how do you go about this? It's just like, actually, for
So-
you pointed out, it's just like, sorry, my last line. It's just like the Oppenheimers. It's legacy driven, this thing, because you can't walk in as a Van Niekerk and go be an Oppenheimer. You
I
understand?
get you.
You can't go on
And-
the taxi.
Yeah,
On 20 taxis.
and I appreciate your spirited speech as well.
No, it's a pleasure. And don't use my words.
Okay.
Don't use my fucking words. Okay?
So again, why are we paying government officials so much money? The bottom line was because
Especially if there's a public, was a Minister of Transport.
They're achieving other
Exactly.
KPIs.
So what
They're
does the
achieving
Minister
other
of
so
KPIs.
clearly this
Where's
means,
the Minister of Transport here?
I mean,
Listen, this is it's an elephant in the room. Okay, no one's
So
gonna
this
walk
elephant must be discussed.
Yeah, but no one's gonna walk in. No
Bah,
one's,
no,
gonna,
no,
no one's gonna put themselves to office and say, "I'm going to fix this taxi problem," because it's over.
But one day someone will. I really
we
believe that.
interview. I
I
get
really
no,
believe
no, somebody has to fix it.
Somebody will one day.
Yes, one day it's charges.
But that takes political will. As in, like, Cyril or whoever is in charge later on will have to go like, guys, come on. It's been 20-something years.
No, Cyril uzosaba tshela
Guys-
omunye umuntu ukuthi ayilungise.
Guys,
And
let's wrap it up, Eddie.
Okay.
Finish your point, Harry. Finish your point.
no, it's
So in my point, I'm
So
trying to
it's
say
not
that the reason why we pay these people such obscene amounts of money is that they need to solve problems. That's why when you look at in any profession, where there is scarcity, whether it's civil engineering, whether it's actuarial sciences and everything, they pay these people because these people actually say in their KPAs, their performance drives, that they can actually fix this. I mean, for goodness sakes, do not take office if you are not willing to fix the problem. Because this has gone on. I mean, these are kids, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
dog.
These are
That's the
kids.
that's the painful part.
people, guys.
Is that kufa abantwana?
Yes.
Abantu, period.
Abantu
Like,
bayafa.
but I know. But the most painful thing is that thanks, producer. That it's abantwana. I mean, imagine if it was your baby sister, your son, or my son. Which is why I posed this question to you, Harry, and
Yeah.
Monang some time back.
Yeah.
And I said, would you let your child use public transport?
Yeah.
What? Well,
I'm not saying, like, I've got two kids.
Yeah.
I believe they need to experience and need to understand that this is, if you don't have this is what you must use. You have to use public transport for you to go here and there. I want them to experience that. But I don't want them to use public transport as a means of them to get to and from school. Personally, I used public transport when I was going to school. I just don't want my kids to do that. That's just me. Not to say that I am
Is it
better.
a safety issue?
No, yes, primarily as a parent. I'm just thinking, you know what if, you understand? I would rather me take my own kids to school, or my wife, or until they, like, I just not even the bus or whatever transport. Just in general, like, I prefer me taking them to school. Not to say ukuthi people that care or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not looking down on them in any way. I'm just saying me personally, because I did that. I did all of that. When you kept me to and fro, when I transport, I did all of that. But all I'm saying is that's just my personal opinion. I prefer not for them to use public transport, safety-wise and just in general. I want them to experience it, to know that yes, if let's say I want to go sleep over a friend's house, I want to, okay, listen, let's say my car broke down, or mommy's car broke down, you have to be kept, dog, or baby girl, you need to catch the cab. In that aspect, I want them to experience that, but not as, listen, it's a budgeta. My boy, transport, taxi, whatever. That I don't know. I want to use it.
So in general,
No,
as a young person,
no, that for me, just to go into that it did sort of make me,
Not sort of.
no, it's like, very factual, facts.
Thank you.
You understand, the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You understand, it makes you very humble, for one, because but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Guti, I don't want them to not experience that. Like, I don't want them to not know that. But I don't want it to be a means of transport for them.
So when they are desperate, do they?
If let's say I span in namhlanje,
They need to know what to do.
you need to know like, yo, I got
okay,
this, I gotta
okay,
use a
okay.
cab.
So when
it might be
it's
cab.
last resort, basically.
Basically. Not as I understand for some people, yes, it's the only means of transport. I'm not, like I said, I'm not by any means looking down on that. But I'm just asking you guys, because I believe that our generation, you know, will slightly have better opportunities than our parents, slightly will have better, I think we're doing better than our parents might have done or are doing. I think we got better opportunities than our parents.
Yeah, but they have a house that is paid for. They have
A house after how long? And a house where?
Yeah, I mean, do
What
you
is
have
that
do you have a house?
Yeah, I do, but
Do you have a
it's not
house?
paid for.
What? No. It's
I
mine.
don't have a fucking house.
But all I'm saying is that remember.
No, but
at
that's what I'm
this
saying.
age,
But
now
let's
at
not
this
go
age,
into that.
them.
But
Guys,
they
don't
were
quantify-
married.
guys,
They were
guys,
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 don't quantify
listen,
the finishing line.
I'm asking this question
At
to
this
you.
age.
You let your kid, I don't know if you've got kids,
any that I know of.
that you don't know of.
Yeah.
Okay, the ones that you don't know of, I'm just saying. Like,
So in
would
general, I don't have any kids that I know
would
of.
you let your kids use public
So
transport
now-
as a means of transport?
So now what you have to understand is that there are different factors now. You have your middle class. You have your middle class and everything.
Typical politician.
So in regard, when you say public transport, are we talking about Rai? Are we talking
Hey,
about?
hey,
Cap, dog.
yazi ngiyabhala,
Cap,
man.
indreba,
Ungabi
undreba.
politician.
Undreba.
So what
Cap,
I'm trying to say before I got attacked by these groups is that when it comes to taxis,
Yes,
I
yes.
am not comfortable. Especially
Why are you not comfortable? Don't
it's
go on.
It's
Why
a
are you not
safety
comfortable?
issue. It's a safety issue. And again, now when you look at, because I am classified as a middle class, when it comes to, I'm okay with my kid taking a train to work, to school. That's fine because that is known as, it is safe. When last have you heard that like a train? The last incident I heard about a train bus was a shooting, and that was regarding taxi issues. But in general,
Alright.
taxi-wise, no, I wouldn't.
Thank you. You let Eddie start. He ain't gonna finish. But anyway,
I feel
yo,
like I'm
Harry,
being attacked.
you tell me. No, not at all.
Mina ngingusemi ngizorake
As a means of transport.
Yeah, as a means to get around, to find things out in a certain period. Yes, I want to take my kids to school. Yeah, that's cool. Whatever. I also want to knock off.
So when I
I also want to knock. Yeah.
Who's Spanish as a means of transport?
Yeah, I'm from I Spanish.
Like
And-
Novescala, everything.
Yeah, if Iskela
Why?
is, yeah.
Why?
Because I want him to get used to life. I
Or
want
it's
him
a
to get
him
a pen
now.
him. Yeah.
It's a him.
Okay, so
Him or
I
her?
want my child to get used to life. I want to get used to izinto hamba my cab isuka la iyalena. There's a shortcut here. Mangiphume eKasi, for example, ngiye eParktown boys, the girls. He texting here, then I must catch another cab here. He needs to get used to that bit. He needs to know what Josie is about. He needs to know the routes. He needs to figure out like mela cool, right? I understand. Yes, I also want to knock off at 2:00 to go fetch my kids from school. I also want to leave and
I got
go
'em.
to sport and watch them play hockey, rugby, whatever the case. Yes, but they need to get to the fundamentals. I don't want to cotton my child. Because if, God forbid, I pass on and my child is left now, yeah, you understand? Or whatever the
That's
case
the
may
last
be. Or something happens, or I'm not in the country, or whatever. They need to be dual. You are dual now. You are dual. My cab, transport, but for driving motor, you got the best of everything. And that's what I want. I don't want.
Sorry, you don't want to ask a question?
Yeah, so Donna, I just wanted to ask, with regards to your statement, Donna, as opposed to the safety issue, like it sounds like you're adamant because you want your child, girl or boy, to use public transport. What about the safety issue that you have been opposing right now? This is what.
Yes, no, the safety issues are rife, and the thing is, look, they are rife, and they're higher than them going in private transport, right? But the lessons are also it's
So
not
lessons
just
are more important.
No,
than-
not. See, this is no.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm saying.
Hold on.
Okay.
Defensive.
Hold on. The lessons, right, are also very valuable. Yes, there is a big changeover.
Yeah.
There's a big changeover,
Yeah.
right? But the lessons are valuable. You accrue those lessons. You also accrue those lessons. And I want my children to accrue those lessons. I don't want things to be to be a walkover. I don't want things
Some
to
ice.
be, you know. But obviously, yes, in Funu comes to, I said, I'm Funu fun and everywhere I went in the cab.
Yeah.
Okay, I was fortunate enough. My school was close to home, so I could walk and get dropped off.
But why not? Why can't they refrain from using public transport if you can?
Because
Can I also
I
say-
want them. Remember that, guys. We are an African society. We are. I want them to know this side and this side. I want them to know both things. I don't want they don't know what the hell is happening. And that's the thing, guys. I'm not saying that I'm going to willingly put my child in danger. Yes, Nati Besning King.
No, I hear what you say.
Today my cab, Koni strata panty, Nyangulawa. Today my cab,
But it was fun back then.
Yes.
You didn't really think about it like that. It
And
was
you
fun.
won't. And
My problem is that my
Yo,
major
guys, we need to
issue-
wrap up the cap
Okay,
situation.
Okay, my major issue is safety. I am not willing to teach you a life-changing lesson.
Because
Yes.
it might just change your life for real.
I mean, end it.
Yeah.
It might just end your life in real. So I mean, the risk is too high for me. Myself personally,
Yeah, that's what I think,
cannot.
yeah.
I cannot.
But Harry, what Harry
yeah.
said, you said, that's what I'm saying. That's why you tell me now. Sure, if let's say, Lalela, ne?
yeah.
Imota micro right, or whatever, or like if let's say, pops, I need to go see my friend or whatever.
He barely takes.
But be careful. That they must know.
Yeah.
So I'm still giving them that lesson
Yeah.
to understand that listen, if I'm not around it or you don't have a car and I don't have a car, no one has a car, you have to use the public transport. That yes, I want to keep that element of learning and growing. That I want to keep it. But I don't want them to say, listen, this is my means of transport when I have a car and I can take my kid to school. I don't want that. And yes, I know there are lessons that they can learn by using public transport. And, there are people that can't afford or don't have vehicles, or whatever. I understand all of that. But me as a parent, I'll take my kid to school. I'd rather me take them to school. They can learn these lessons in other aspects of their
When
life.
this is such a
Not
sneak out the house
not
or
when
something.
someone else is in charge of their lives. That's just me.
So then what's the responsibility of the driver?
The driver being me.
Don't kill my kids.
But do you think every taxi driver looks at each passenger as a valuable commodity or as valuable? No, they just look at money.
until you get a
They're just picking man.
Then,
No,
abandon.
that's it. So that's just me. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't disagree with
Better wrap
that
this
because
up, bro.
you've been in taxis. I'm sure you've been in taxis. Where the experience is absolutely different. There are people who actually enjoy what they do.
Yes, no, I'm not saying all of
That's
them.
what I'm saying. I change. But guys,
Sorry, I'm not saying all of them.
Just to wrap up to that thing. Guys, okay, now I grew up where there was one car in the household, right? And if my father went somewhere,
You know, there was
didn't
no
really
car.
care, okay? Right? I played cricket. I had to fucking take my big ass fucking bag, walk to the rank, catch a cab to wherever I was going, at early hours in the morning and go do what I gotta do.
Wait. Wait. But do you think your parents, if your parents had 2 or 3 cars,
I understand.
do you think
yes,
they would allow
I'm not,
that?
I'm not fighting that. Right? What I'm saying is, I did that. Right? Maybe I didn't understand. Maybe I was unhappy at the time, or whatever. But I did it. And in doing that process and getting around and going to work, I learned a lot of things. I realized a lot of things. I realized how early black people get up to get to their jobs. I started respecting people. I went obviously Spaklina, whatever, M7, wherever I worked. I started to, you understand them, where other people don't treat them the same way because they don't know what their struggles are. That's what I'm saying.
Because of using the taxi.
Yes, I've realized abantu bathengisa amagwinya, amafishy, French, exeni ngo4 babhizi baredi.
Yeah, but
And what I'm saying is that I realize these things. It may not be the same lessons for my kids. I want them to learn these things. I'm not saying that I'm going to, for now, till forever, bazogibela my care. Kunesikhathi la, they need to do this and walk this journey. That's what I'm saying.
Can I just add on?
That's all I'm saying.
Can I just?
I want to
point?
give them everything.
I hear what you're saying, and I completely understand. But my guy, my nigga, growing up in the hood will make you realize how our black mothers and fathers work hard. How they used to wake up exeni and having to go by my train station.
Yeah,
Yeah.
angithi thina-
Like just that on its own,
Yeah.
that I am seeing it and I understand that that's what's happening.
angithi
I don't
thina-
have to
angithi-
use the
angithi-
public
mhlambe
transport
angeke sibe
to
lapho.
be able to understand.
Angeke
But-
sibe
but
lapho.
that again-
Angithi you said sorry. You said that you want to move forward. We got better opportunities. Mhlawumbe angeke si ekasi. Angeke sihlale ekasi.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
I mean, okay, I'm sorry.
I hear you. Okay,
I'm
I hear.
thinking
Okay,
so
I hear you.
much.
All right.
So when,
I'm
you-
thinking.
when we are talking about public infrastructure, whether it's transport, whether it's whether it's taxis, whether it's trains, these things have not been equipped to cater to people of the majority.
No.
I mean, when you look at the metro rail, they tell you and what it's always delaying, it's always what. So this is a thing. We have to wake up late. Even though you wake up on time, you have to factor in a good 30 minutes so that we have to attain my breakdown. But have you ever heard that in Gauteng?
Electricity.
But have you ever heard that in Gauteng?
Mama.
No, in Gauteng. The only time.
Angaze ngigibele mfana mina
And another factor to consider, why?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
is our infrastructure not catering to the majority of the people?
So
Why?
that's the question we should be asking.
Why?
That's the question we should be asking the Minister of Transport.
Man, this is ridiculous.
Hey, I'm a cab by Yegi, but I know I'm a cab by
It's ridiculous,
Aye,
but let the interact. Don't
But-
forget,
but
these
apparently
first,
they are-
these first world countries had their infrastructure in the 80s,
Back
the
then,
70s,
yes,
the
back
60s.
then.
That's into your mind. So,
But
yes,
apparently
we
they
need to-
are introducing Amapiati
Yes, we
in the East
that's what I'm
Rand
saying.
or whatever.
It's not going to, guys, this will never be a 10-year revolution. It may be when our kids are old that there's tunnels and tunnels.
But is that acceptable?
Yeah. It's
Is
not
that
acceptable,
it's
but
not.
it's the truth because there are many other problems. It's not just the transport issue. There's health, there's welfare.
No, health, we
there's,
can
there's,
go
there's
on.
social
we
care,
can go
there's
on for all
everything.
day.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Let's wrap the transport.
Okay. Last regard. First of all, Gauteng, Joburg in general, is the economic hub of the freaking continent. How come we do not have access to trains that go from Vaal to Joburg straight without delays, quick as Gauteng? How come we do not have the same thing from East Rand to Gauteng straight up with no disruption? How come? No, they actually are because people from Alberton
train station.
But the
East Rand-
people that matter are going to Sentin, they're going to OR Town.
Oh, those are the ones that are
That's
bringing
right.
it. Ridiculous.
Yes, the people who are managing,
Hey, but-
the directors
Aye, man.
are going
What's
to
spicy,
OR.
mister?
Aye.
When
transport.
ngoba we meet management when nakusasa banga replace
No. You are a clever black. You do not belong here. Hamba. That's basically what they are saying, especially when you raise these issues.
and that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Abantu babalekile. Where's the
Talk about
Gauteng?
these
Iyaphi
things, guys.
Gauteng? Where's the Gauteng going? Kempton
Yeah,
Park,
and
Sentin,
Pretoria.
Rosebank,
Who-
Pretoria.
It is
Uses the
basically
Gauteng, dog,
catering
like-
to the higher,
Yes, yeah, exactly.
the higher echelons.
Upmarket.
Exactly.
Up
Upmarket.
But if
Or
you were
higher
spending
middle class.
Basically saying, okay, we
guys
know
who
you're
can
rich.
still drive, they can still
They can
drive.
still drive,
afford
yeah.
to drive to the airport.
That's what I'm saying.
Such
We're not.
madness.
This thing should have been for Ekasi, Foslo, Bali, because Gwele, Sipaya.
That's what I'm saying.
So hopefully pressure Kuma Cap.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't make financial
It's like okay.
It doesn't make
Look,
because we want
we
them
know
to pay
you've
more.
got money. We know you've got money. We know you got a beautiful car. But look, you can leave your car and use this
But that's-
beautiful train
And again,
that
that-
travels up to 120 kilometers per hour and can get you to work within 20 minutes from Pretoria to Johannesburg. That's how they said. How is that helping me? How is that helping the masses?
Funny enough.
How is that in terms of
Funny enough,
transport?
you
That's
touched
the
on
only
that.
option of which Abantu to can use e-transport, e-cab. That's it.
So
Oh, Ricard.
I was speaking.
And
to,
how? Why can't they fix those things?
Yeah, I was speaking.
Because buyers good, no?
Abana, that thing.
Yeah.
Buyers good,
That
no?
is Saudi.
Abana, that thing.
So yenzani? What are we supposed to replace Aksasa with someone else who's hungry enough to catch the train
For
and
half
go
the
to
money.
work?
For half the
the
money.
money, or whatever. they
Asifalen.
do. Anyway.
Okay, one last thing. Spoke
Got
to-
a minute.
Okay, spoke to a guy from Belgium, and a couple of years back, he actually said something quite shocking. He says our infrastructure, whether in Joburg, it is not ready. It is nowhere ready for an upcoming black middle class.
It is.
It is.
No.
Even let's just say
Vela.
everybody in here were to afford a car. do you know that you become more of a liability to the transport
Yeah.
department than you are than
Exactly.
anything else?
It's
Do you know in
it's
a
simple. No, it's simple. Peggy Soweto, Peggy Forster, Peggy Tembisa, Peggy Traffic.
Outside.
That's it, guys.
do you know in Switzerland?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to quick note. In Switzerland, they've got like a coupon, like it's like like one coupon, and that coupon you put money into it, and with that coupon you use a train, you use taxi, and you use like any type of means of transport, like with just that coupon. And in terms of efficiency, number one. About driving around. Anyway, yeah. What do you want? What you guys
another
want
thing
to say?
that comes to mind.
Let's close it real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll finish it off on this. Apartheid infrastructure. That's another reason why it's difficult to change this thing.
Yeah, because they only catered
Because
for
I
a small.
remember
the 5%, 6, 7%.
The group areas like the segregation act, but keepili was big fair from his.
Bayenzele bona.
Yeah, no, so, yeah, but bayenzele ukuthi nathi sibe fair from his panini.
Exactly.
Angithi.
Yeah, with the
Bafaka
whole.
into esimple
when they moved,
njengegalo,
yeah.
baninga ama-care, but isebenze, whatever. It was. Listen, they were building something for them.
For them, that's what I'm saying.
It's something for them. There was gonna be for them, and it's still happening now with the Gauteng we're discussing. It's for the elite few.
Hence, I'm asking you. What's the men of transport doing?
Yes, no, it's difficult. As I'm saying, yes. What are they doing? Listen, I'm not gonna. I agree
Let's
with
let Harry
you.
close it off.
All I'm saying is that things can't happen overnight because of how far finances are stretched, fiscal and all that shit. But there are many crippling factors. Many. It's not a thing whereby you come here, you point there, you keep your plan, no. Look how long it's taking for Ripia to easy like us.
And it's still not here.
It's still not here. So
Eastern, that is,
yeah,
like,
many things at play. So yeah, apartheid infrastructure, it was not deemed for any. And there are many tunnels and stuff. Like
Yeah.
many tunnels.
Sorry, Luan, producer, director just added that that's the next president's job, basically.
No, it is. And how it goes about it, good luck.
Yeah.
The Majestic Convo. Ordinary people having extraordinary conversations.